Should it be Steelers or retire for Aaron Rodgers?
I thought long and hard about this question. And I'm going to say retire. And sometimes retirement's a good thing too, James.
I know,
right?
man.
Now, where is this young brother from?
He's from Cali.
Where in Cali? Do you know where in Cali?
He's from the Bay Area.
Right, even better.
That way.
Tie up them Nikes, them cleats, right? ARs 8 or AR 12, whatever you want to put on it.
Chico.
And you throw those things up there on the wires, man, and call it quits. Because I was thinking about this. If he goes to the Steelers when they have a lot of issues on the offensive line, the brother's older, the running game is non-existent, you need a running game, and I think the defense, if you watch from the middle of the year to the end, they were not good at all. You can put Aaron Rodgers there when he came from something similar to that already in New York, he only got 5 wins. Now look at so what are you trying to accomplish? So if he has a good season, right, stats-wise, and let's say they play well and they make the playoffs again. Now we're having the same thing next year. Man, do they sign Aaron Rodgers or go somewhere else? You want to keep doing that? You got a legacy. Like MVPs on MVPs on MVPs. And you do have a championship. I think at some point as players, man, the hardest thing to do is say, you know what? I've done enough. I've turned every rock over. Let me enjoy my career and my fruits of my labor and enjoy retirement. Because if you go to the Steelers, it's like they're not really a good team like that, and it's a one-year rental. I don't want him to go through this whole roller coaster again. Then he's at free agency again, and everybody's complaining, oh, he's taking too long because these decisions take time. Aaron, man,
I know.
Double check champ. Retire, bro.
Double check champ.
That gold jacket, man.
He used to be hot when other people used to
James, you played with Aaron Rodgers, so what you think, man? Play for the Steelers or retire?
It's hard to disagree with my dog Shady over there because I'm on the fence with it. But I'm going to say play. Do not retire. I know all the greats don't get to go out like they want to go out. Right. Everybody can't go out like Ray Lewis, get a 4th and 1 stop in the Super Bowl, and you go out in the Super Bowl. You can't do that. You know what I mean? But with Aaron Rodgers, at the end of the year, he was playing really good football. He was moving a whole lot better than he was moving. So me watching him as a friend and as a brother, I'm like, he still could play the game. You're going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I agree with Shady. It's a lot of holes in the roster. The defense did not play well at the end of the year last year, but it's one thing the Pittsburgh Steelers do. They win and they get in the playoffs. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers play, get into the playoffs, and if you lose, hey, man, go ahead and ride off in the sunset. Chico, California, throw your cleats up on the wire. Let them know, man, Aaron Rodgers is done. 4-time MVP is out of here. Gave it my best, my last ride. I lost in the playoffs. It is what it is. But I can't go out, because when I hear Shady and Chase say 5 wins, what's my man's name? Zach Wilson that morning. I just can't see my dog going out like that. I would love to see him come back and play one more, man, and I think the Pittsburgh Steelers is a good fit for him to have an opportunity to compete and get in the playoffs.
When I retired, I don't know what y'all did. I went back home to my hood, to my city, to my community, right?
Cleats up there?
And I tied the 200-yard cleats up. And all the kids around me said, y'all ready? They said, we ready. I threw it up there now. They had some sodas. I had some champagne.
We
poured it out for me.
There we go.
And we celebrated 25. That's all.
See, I just left mine in the garage.
you throw away those tweets. Can't go up there and get them.
It's in the garage. Put them in the box.
This was a difficult question, and when you said this, I went back and forth a little bit. But I think it's time to retire, and I don't say that lightly because everyone playing the game of football has had to retire, has had to move on to another level. And I don't care if you've got the superstar phone. I don't care if you led the league in touchdowns. I don't care if you played 3, 4, 5 years. I don't care if you were a backup your whole career. It doesn't matter. When you retire from the game of football, it takes a lot out of you. And there's a lot that leaves the game with you because that's the only thing you've ever known your entire life. And in Aaron's case, and a lot of former players' cases, they want to continue with the game because the game is all they've known. So that's either broadcasting like we're all doing up here because it feels like a locker room. And we continue the camaraderie when we have team meetings. We go out. We do stuff outside of this building. And a lot of times that's the case for former athletes. A lot of times the case is coaching. And they get into the coaching world because, hey, you're an expert. It's a 10,000-hour rule, right? You've spent so much time and you could be anywhere from 25 to 45 when you retire in the NFL. And you get into coaching, and you don't want to have to start over, and you don't want to do that. With Aaron, though, and that's why I'm afraid he's probably not thinking retiring, He's not getting into broadcasting, at least it doesn't look like, based on some reports I heard yesterday. And he's definitely not going to get into coaching because he doesn't need the money. So it's just like, how is he going to wrestle with that decision? Because if he does retire, there's no coming back to the game of football. What are you going to do next?
There it is, dude.
What are you going to, what's your legacy going to be outside the game? Because I know for a fact, he probably doesn't want to just be remembered for you were a great football player. There's so much more in life than that. And so that's why I wrestle with this decision on like, hey, which one should he do? My biggest thing about the Steelers, I don't think they're a poor franchise. I don't think that they're going to a Super Bowl next year. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the reason why he would go to a Super Bowl. So you can't further your legacy if you're Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. And I don't think you can hurt it if you go out there, you make the playoffs, and you lose in the first round. But that's why I say retire, because I don't see him furthering his legacy as you continue.
Yeah, I think you got to retire because what are you still playing for? At the end of the day, you play for money, you play for fame, you play for fun. You don't need fame, Aaron Rodgers. You're already famous. You do not need the money, Aaron Rodgers. You're already rich. So then you play for fun. But I vividly remember it was my freshman year at the University of Texas. Shady McCoy were about to go play Ohio State. Head coach Mac Brown, he commands a team meeting. Guys, fellas, hey, go out there, play the game. We'll win, but make sure, more than anything, you have fun. Will Muschamp, current defensive coordinator at Georgia, co-defensive coordinator, he comes up after Mac Brown, because in football, you have your whole team meetings, then you break up offense over here, defense over here. Defensive coordinator comes up, he says, hey, fellas, and Will Muschamp had his hair, and whenever he got mad, the hair would just start to fly. Fellas, the fun is in winning. I never forgot.
Yeah.
From my freshman year forward, the fun is in winning. Rodgers, you're not winning. Not in Pittsburgh. You're not winning at all, like James said. You're not winning at all. You're not going to have a Ray Lewis moment. You're not going to have a Peyton Manning win the last game moment. You might have a on-the-court last game Kobe Bryant type performance. Maybe you go out there your last game, you throw for 480 yards with DK Metcalf, with George Pickens. You go out there, you beat the Buffalo Bills because they're resting Josh Allen because they've already made it to the playoffs or whoever the case may be. But you're not going to have a Ray Lewis ride off on this white horse type moment. So for me, I think he will retire. But let's go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? You made a lot of money in this league. You was the highest paid running back.
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Bring it out.
Add to the superstar phone.
Superstar conversation,
You know
so they
what
need
I'm
to talk to me. 1 second.
Yeah. Answer, bro. Hey, when did you know you made a lot of money in the National Football League? You was the highest paid running back.
Put on speakerphone.
Yeah, put it on speaker. When did you know it was time to retire?
Well, my situation is a little different. But for one, in my career, I had all the accolades and stats. I didn't have no winning, right? So when I went to Kansas City, we won a championship. Now, my role decreased a little bit. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go to a new team where I got a championship. Now I'm playing for a little bit more money, and I'm playing for some more stats, right? And a chance to win a Super Bowl because I got in there with Tom Brady, with Gronk, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, all them guys. So I get down to the Bucks, Tampa, and he said, hey, Shady, we want you to play like more of a veteran role. I'm like, veteran role, right?
Coach him up.
But when I knew it was time for me to leave is when you go from making $300,000 a week to 200 to 100, okay, to 80 to 50. Now I'm only down to 30. And I was still having fun, but I wasn't impactful in the game, right? And I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because now once I won in Tampa, now I'm feeling this high of winning.
Yeah.
Playing or not, we winning. Championships, ring after ring. So, and it's crazy. My last year, after that Bucs year, 2020, I had the Jets, the Patriots, I think the Raiders, and somebody else, and the Dolphins. And I'm sitting there, okay, all right, cool. I said, y'all gonna let me play? They're gonna give me a chance to be number one or number two? They said yes. I said, that's all I needed. But then I thought about it. I won 2 championships back to back. I already got 15,000 all-purpose yards. I got all-pros, all-decade running back. Am I going to win at these places? It's going to be worth my time. It's going to be worth not seeing my son, taking him to school. Is it going to be worth all that? And I said, you know what? Let me hang these things up. Because it wasn't worth the time and energy for what they was going to give me.
Question for you, because this is good now. He's brought up the money twice. Say you would have been, you still would have been making $150,000, but you would have been a backup. Like what swings the ledger there? If you would have been making $150, but you would have been a backup, then is it worth it?
Was the running back nice, or he was just
young bull? They drafted him in the second round.
That's not that it killed me, because like I'm watching, and I was in the meeting rooms teaching their other running backs, and I was telling myself like, I can do this. You get what I'm saying? But I put the team, and this is what people don't know about me. I put the team first before my ego.
Yeah.
So once I was upset, I had my little moment of being upset and all that, the next day, that's gone. Now it's for the team. Yo, Tom, what you need me to do with the running backs?
Yeah.
Bet, I got you. Leonard Fournette, let's go over this. Let's go over that.
Like a coach.
Because I got to be a teammate.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing I hate about when you talk about the superstar thing. You got your own way of doing things, but the team should come always first.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's why that was the biggest thing for me is, okay, well, if I'm not going to be playing a certain way, let me impact the game another way.
That's a good point.
Why'd you retire?
Real good question. 4 years played. You get vested pension. You got all the benefits. That's what a lot of people don't know. But after 4, I had gotten hurt 7 times in 8 years, college and pro. So I'm like, Acho, there's a better chance you get hurt than there is you make a Pro Bowl. Better chance you get hurt than there is you make an All-Pro. So I had a job offer to be on TV. And I literally remember going to a Cowboys workout. And I was sitting at this Cowboys workout, lacing up my cleats, about to do my back pedals and my drills. And I remember thinking, I do not want them to sign me. I called my agent. I said, hey, what happens if they sign me? Like, I was worried about having to go play football again. So could I have, and to Shady's point,
Why was you worried to go play football, to get hurt?
I didn't want to play. Like, it was not worth it. It wasn't worth it, like having to go through it. I remember I was in Washington, D.C. at NABJ. I got a text at 11 p.m. from the Buffalo Bills. They wanted to bring me in. Hey, Emmanuel Acho, we need your date of birth, we need your license, we need your social security, we want to book you a flight to come in. I ignored it. They text me the next morning at 7 a.m. Hey, Emmanuel, we need your license, we need your date of birth, we need your social security, want to book you a flight, we want to bring you in. I called my agent, I said, I'm done. To this day, that's the oldest text message I still have in my phone. I'll never delete that message because psychologically, I want to remind myself, hey, I said no to the NFL. It didn't say no to me. Whether that's true or not is indifferent. But psychologically, if you scroll all the way back down to 2016, August, I got that text. So for me, I realized playing was not worth what it was going to cost.
Quarterback?
I was in a little different position, right? Like I played 14 years as a backup, and that's a long time.
Long time if you're a starter.
And yeah, a long time as a starter. But I think like with Shady's term, like I was in Shady's shoes at the end of Shady's career, my whole career. So I was always the helper. I was always a good teammate. I was always trying to make the room better. I was always trying to do this. And I think toward the end of the career, people don't understand, like, I wouldn't call myself a journeyman because I was at really good spots, but we moved a ton.
Yeah.
And we moved a lot, and it wasn't one of those things like, hey, let's just go rent a furnished apartment. It was, I have a family with me. We have a wife. We have kids.
People
We're going to go. We're going to buy a house. We're going to get involved in the community, even if it's for a year. Then we're going to sell the house. We're going to move all of our furniture elsewhere. And it just got to a point where in 2020, after I got released by the Lions, it was like, all right, I think I could be done. But then the Chargers offered, and we live in San Diego, and I could just drive up every day. So my wife and kids didn't have to move. I'm like, oh, this is the best. And he's like, if I don't re-sign with the Chargers next year, then I'm done. Well, the Chargers re-signed me, and I'm like, all right, I feel really, I had offers after the last year from a few different teams to go and be a backup. But I'm like, you know, at what point I knew I wanted to get a media or coaching. At what point is like, all right, what's another year? Sure. Like, and then it's like, yeah, it's great money, but then by the time you move and by the time you pay your age, it's just like, okay, like at what point it's like an opportunity cost because the family wasn't going to move out with me. I wanted to be back with the family, and I feel like physically I could still do it, but I knew that I wanted to get into media, and it was like a really good transition.
So none of you guys lost the love for the game, because that's how I knew. All right, I was in training camp. I had just led the Packers in yards and touchdowns, and I signed with the Chargers. And I got out there in training camp, and first couple of days, I was dropping ball after ball after ball, and I was laughing. Usually, if I drop a ball, the wife know I wouldn't sleep the night before. Game practice, I'm like, man, I was weak today. Like, that's how much I love the game. And I'm like, I'm laughing with Keenan Allen and all that, and I'm like, you're done. You're done. I called the wife like, hey.
Competitive nature was gone.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, it's a wrap. She like, take a week, pray about it. I'm like, man, I could do that. Took a week, prayed about it. I came home. It's over. It's over.
Did you tell the coaches or did they release you? Like, how did that?
We went up there. I had a conversation with the GM at the time, Tom Pelesco, and he was like, JJ, what's up? And I'm like, I'm done, dog. I appreciate you.
Well,
but it's over. I didn't have the love for it no more,
That's
man.
so true, and that happens to a lot of guys because a lot of guys toward the end of their career, a lot of people don't understand how much work goes into just one season.
Bro.
Like, the older I got, the easier it was for me to get out of shape. I don't even play a position that I need to be in shape. But, like, take you, for instance. It's like, man, the season ends in January if you don't make the playoffs. If you're older, you got to start working out again in February. And then you have February, March, and then you report in March. Then you have 3 weeks of phase 1, then you have 3 weeks of phase 2, then you got to go on the field stuff, then you get only a 6-week break, and you got to train during that 6-week break. You can't really be with your kids in the sports, and then you got to go to the season, and the season's a grind. It's every single day. You get no days off, and we're not complaining. You're playing a game for a living.
But you can't
This is
cheat
the
the game.
reality of the situation, and you can't cheat the game.
Can't
So unless
cheat.
you're all in, not only physically, but mentally as well, walk away because you're hurting your team if you're not.
And the thing about it, even now looking at Rodgers from the outside in, is like, since you can't cheat the game, you can't take the days off, you can't do, because he's tried and it's come with backlash and it will come with further backlashes. You got to be fully committed to the game, especially at the Q. And James, you already said this. If you thinking about retiring, you retired.
Yeah.
You retired. And I think, like, we saw it to some degree with Tommy. Tommy's just so good. Tom Brady is that he could come back again. I think they still went to the playoffs, but then they lost to the Dallas Cowboys. You saw it, obviously, with Favre. We saw it with Roethlisberger. Once you get to that point where you think about retiring, there's not a lot of good left at the end of that career. You can squeeze out 9 wins, maybe 8 wins, 10 wins, but, like, is it worth coming back for Rodgers for 8
And you
to
know,
9
and the
wins?
last point is, you know what was tough for me too, though? Going to, like, team to team. And it's like, I look at Aaron Rodgers like, he's a superstar dude. And, like, we don't ever close out or clean out our closet. I don't ever take my cleats. I know I'm going to be back. Like, I'll see you later, coach. Yeah, I'll see you in a couple minutes. I'll see you. And it's like now, you talk about a player like Aaron Rodgers, where, like, now he's the one that's going team to team.
Correct.
You don't have the power you want. Or, you know, at the end of the season, I don't know if y'all did this, but I'm going to my coordinator, hey, look, man, next year I want to do this. Yeah, next year I want to do that. Now that's gone, really. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now I got to learn a whole new team, whole new offense, whole new coaches. They don't know me.
Whole new players,
And,
too.
and I got a whole new player. And I hated that part. That's another thing. It's like, I'm going to go to the Patriots or the Lions, wherever it was at the time, and, like, I got to meet a whole new group, new city. You don't want to do all that.
A lot of stuff go through it, man. A lot of stuff go through
That's why when he's taking his time,
No
obviously
doubt.
us in the facility understand, like, hey,
Take your time.
take your time, A-Rod, take your time. It's the facility right here. This is.
Then is y'all crying when y'all retired?
No, I was grateful.
I didn't do no crying.
You know, crying.
Makes me think you
a
did, now that
gangster,
you're
huh?
acting like that.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.